Wife's affair destroyed me, and it turned me into a living robot. I, 32M, have been married to my wife Kate, 30F, for 4 years, together for 9. Our relationship has been amazing, loving, and supportive. We have good communication, hardly ever argue, and our bedroom life has gone from strength to strength over the years. We discussed cheating in the past, and I was always clear that we would be over if it ever happened. Kate went home to visit her family last weekend, which was fairly normal. Before she left on the Friday night, we had a minor argument about keeping the house tidy, so our communication was limited on Saturday, but I knew she was going out to meet some friends at a bar. I trusted her 100%, so didn't think anything of it. Before I fell asleep, I texted her saying that I hope she had a nice night. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I had a missed call from Kate at 4 a.m., so I immediately called her to check if she was okay, but no answer. After a few hours, I tried again a few times, but still no answer. Around an hour later, I got a message saying she was fine and was driving back soon. Kate got home late afternoon and looked awful. She had clearly been crying, was not wearing any makeup, unusual for her, and looked like a shell of a person. I knew right away something was wrong, but she wouldn't let me hug her and would barely speak. I sat her down on the couch and made her some tea. I gently encouraged her to tell me what was wrong, and she burst into uncontrollable tears for at least 10 minutes while I was trying to comfort her. She then proceeded to tell me, stopping every few words, that she had slept with someone last night after the bar. At that moment, something in my brain broke. I can't describe it any other way. I immediately got up and jumped in my car and drove off. I went to a park and walked around it for about an hour. Kate was calling my phone constantly, and I turned it off. When I got home, I grabbed 2 suitcases from the garage and went to our bedroom. I threw some of Kate's clothes and shoes into them and left them by the front door. Kate was lying on the floor in the living room, curled up into a ball sobbing. I called her best friend who lives nearby and told her that Kate needed a place to stay and a ride to her place, and that Kate could explain everything to her later. I told Kate I was leaving for an hour and that her friend was coming to pick her up. She grabbed onto my legs, trying to stop me from leaving. When I returned home again, Kate was gone, and so were the cases. On Monday, with a clearer head, I answered one of Kate's many calls and told her that I needed her to send me an email with as much details as possible of that night, and if she leaves anything out, there will be no hope of reconciliation. I received this email on Monday night, but still haven't opened it. Since then, everyone has been trying to contact me, but I have just been working, exercising, and sleeping. One of her friends turned up at my house with an attitude demanding an explanation. I told her to speak to Kate and closed the door in her face. I have also been speaking to divorce lawyers, have moved money into separate accounts, and blocked Kate and all of her friends on everything. Everything I have done since I found out seems like I have been on autopilot. I don't feel angry, upset, or overly emotional. Just numb. Kate posted a note through the door yesterday, asking me to meet tomorrow, but I'm conflicted. Should I meet her? Will it change anything? Is there any point in trying to reconcile? Is it normal to feel like a robot, and how do I snap out of this? Edit. I just want to add that when I came home the first time, Kate confirmed it was consensual. She was drunk, but knew what she was doing. TLDR. Wife cheated out of the blue, and I have been going through the motions since finding out. Story 2. I outed my girlfriend for sleeping with my boss, and now no company will hire her. In my design team, there is only one girl. When I met her, she was very extroverted and flirty with everyone, but I didn't know anything else. I invited her out on a fancy dinner date, and there wasn't that much chemistry, but after a few dates, she seemed to open up to me emotionally and told me she liked spending time with me. We kept dating without anything sexual, but we became boyfriend and girlfriend and very attached to each other. We did eventually have sex, even though she is only sometimes in the mood, and I enjoy her company a lot. Fast forward a few weeks, and I found out from a coworker that she is sleeping with him too. They are not boyfriend and girlfriend though, and she told me it was just for casual sex, and they don't have the emotional connection that we have. I eventually forgave her, and we decided to find a compromise where she can sleep with other guys, and I can sleep with other girls if I ever find someone who is interested in the same thing. I don't really have chemistry with any other girls because I'm not good with women, but I think it is nice to know she would support me if it ever happened. Eventually, I found out she has been sleeping with other team members, not all. But what was most shocking is she has slept with my boss a couple times. I felt a bit uncomfortable knowing he might sabotage my career or something if he ever catches feelings for her. I discussed this with her and she said our boss is very generous and he has given her a promotion in the past, and that she has said good things about me so that the boss gives me good ratings too. I haven't gotten harsh ratings on my code so far, so maybe she's right. She said her relationship with our boss is complicated as she has some feelings for him. She likes authority figures, but those feelings are only of admiration and intense sexual attraction, but he is emotionally unavailable anyway as he is married. So she doesn't see any future with him other than sex and work. I knew this should have made me feel safer in the relationship, but I still felt a bit nervous about it. I thought I was an ass for being uncomfortable with it. I really loved her, and I would not want to leave her, especially after I had invested all this time together, and she lived in my apartment for a few months already. She sometimes cooked for me, but we mostly ate out. She never brought a guy home while I was there, so I thought she respected my boundaries. But then, it happened. Our boss and my girlfriend once had an encounter with his wife, where his wife was a bit jealous and almost got violent with my girlfriend, but in the end somehow they talked it out and ended up all sleeping together. I was quite progressive and open, so I think people should be able to sleep with whoever they want as long as there's mutual attraction, but things started to get way too far. When we agreed to be allowed to see other people, we both understood that there was no emotional connection allowed. But after having the threesome, my girlfriend started neglecting me, at work and at home. After everything that I had done for her, and everything I had sacrificed for our relationship, she basically left me to dry. Because the wife was okay with it now, my boss became more emotionally available, and so she didn't really need me anymore. She risked my career and cheated on me, so I knew I had to do something about it. I knew I had to be sneaky, so I could not just have my phone out, but I needed to record her admitting to sleeping with the boss. So I did some searching and found an app called RecClip that let me clip audio after the fact, so I did not need to have my phone obviously recording. She stopped answering my calls and texts, but we still worked together, so I talked to her in person at work. We were still technically dating. I asked her to meet me in the break room for a few minutes to talk. During our conversation, I asked her if she was in love with our boss, and she took the bait. She went on a whole tangent about how it started off as just meaningless sex, but then evolved. She exposed herself without me even needing to force it out of her. With my recording in hand, I left to my desk and promptly sent it out to every hiring manager, and HR person I could find the email of. This led to utter chaos. Everyone was talking about their scandal. My boss and GF both got fired. Great part was that after everything subsided, no one would hire her because the hiring managers got the word out that she was bad news.